It's about responsibility. You can have like a big platform and you can say whatever. Please take a moment, read some book, read
Right.
some articles,
Oh,
talk to
yeah.
the people.
Cuba doesn't need a bailout from the United States.
Yeah, you
Cuba
keep hands
need to
off.
be left alone. Leave Cuba alone. Let it do the thing. Let them decide what they want to do and how they want to progress. But yeah, it's just, it's like, it's this obsession. I don't know what kind of compassion they have. If they have family, would they want their family to suffer just because some political agenda and some things from the past? I mean, it's just, it's insane to me that the way they talk, do this, keep putting pressure, starve them. That's okay to do it. I'm like, will you do that to your family members? What kind
Right.
of people are this?
Yeah.
So, at this point, I'm like, I think everybody needs to be fed up by this and speak up and trying to understand is like we need to have a normal relationship. You have to respect their way of thinking. You have to respect their government. They respect this government. They respect this country. We have to do the same. We have to come to a middle ground so that way we can move forward.
Right.
But apparently there's a group of people there, because all the administration is skating is to, in I think the president said it on the plane the other day, oh, I care about the Cubans that
Yeah.
left
Who were
60 years
treated so
ago,
badly. Yeah.
and they have to go back to see their family.
Cuba is right now a failed nation. They don't even have jet fuel to get for airplanes to take off. They're clogging up their runway. We're talking to Cuba right now. I have Marco Rubio talking to Cuba right now, and they should absolutely make a deal because it's it's really a humanitarian threat. And we have a lot of great Cuban-Americans, and they're going to be very happy when they're going to be able to go back and say hello to their relatives and do things that they should have been allowed to do for a long time.
I'm like, what family? Why they haven't gone back to Cuba? Because they don't want to go. Do they have any family left?
Right.
Because if you have family left, you don't do this to them.
Right. I just want to show one thing. Pop star Camila Cabello was praised the other day on Instagram by Billboard magazine. It says Camila Cabello is using her platform to raise awareness for her home country of Cuba. In a post on Instagram, the Fifth Harmony alum shared photos of herself as a young girl living in the Caribbean nation alongside present day pictures of Cuban citizens protesting conditions under the current government. Read her message. And so she says, she calls that the oppressive regime in Cuba that is starving people. She goes, there's so much going on here at home, and so much I can say about the heartbreaking things the immigrant community experiencing here on the U.S. Okay, that's good to talk about. I also feel a personal responsibility to speak out what's happening in Cuba. I still have family on the island that we speak to and send medicine, food, and clothes to. It's been 67 years of a failing dictatorship and oppressive regime. The Cuban people are suffering in an echo chamber where no one can hear them because to speak is to risk your life. Many people are starving, looking for food in trash heaps, and the only way to survive is having relatives ship you boxes of medicine because not even the hospitals have medicine. The power's gone for so long that food spoils and water becomes scarce. When people have peacefully protested, they have been disappeared or been behind bars, some as young as 13 years old. This is a reality where a post online costs you your life. The Cuban people have lived without dignity and without hope for too long. It's no wonder so many Cubans have thrown themselves into shark infested waters, making boats out of tires and sticks and risking their lives for freedom. And then she says that they're now in the midst of a profound humanitarian crisis. If you want to help and don't know how, check the link in my story. Support Caritas Cuba and their work. If you're able to give, any donation makes a difference. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Which is nice that she cares, but she is a U.S. citizen. It would be useful for her to perhaps use her voice that way to shed some light on what her government is doing.
I mean, I don't think she cares. I don't think she cares. I mean, if she really cares, she'll be, you know what, sending medicines to Cuba. And, you have to forget, you can't keep thinking that way. It's like if there's an earthquake in a country, if there's like a tornado, you just help the people. She doesn't really care. And I mean, I hate to give credit to, for example, I guess a few days ago, Gloria Estefan, which she doesn't like the Cuban government, but I think she was some kind of festival, and she said that the oil blockade of Cuba is not the way to go.
Wow.
Even that person said that.
Wow.
And listen, I thank you, thank you for saying that. Of course, she has to put all the stuff in there, but at
Right.
least she agrees that this is inhumane and this is
Right.
a crime, and we need to stop this.
Right.
So it has to go that way. Listen, you don't support the government, but guess what? What is wrong, and that's the way. You have to say it.
Wow. Yeah. Gloria Estefan on the oil blockade. It's not a way to bring down the regime.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and actually, I wasn't believing. I'm like, is this true? I mean, because I know the
Right.
way she thinks. And then I looked it up and did my yeah. And in fact, she did say it. She did say it. So thank you for saying that, and hope she gets to do a little bit more and engage, or maybe visit Cuba. She needs to do
Right.
that. So she will, you know,
Yeah,
she will
Liz,
change
maybe
the
you
way
can
she
invite
thinks.
her, give her a tour.
I
Gloria
would love
Estefan.
to invite them, by the way.
Yeah.
I really enjoy to talk to you people, but I really enjoy to talk to people who thinks different
Yeah.
about Cuba, because
Oh,
maybe
I'll
we can
pretend. I'll
find.
change my what I say
Yeah,
next time.
please do it. But I think, like, I don't know. Well, I kind of have an idea why she wrote that, but I think, like, and it's curious for me that she's saying, like, people please do donations through Caritas
Yeah.
Cuba. That's the same organization that the US government is using to try to bring humanitarian aid to Cuba. I don't know if you know
Right.
that, but they
Yeah.
approved this
Right.
$6 million dollars aid to Cuba, and it's like
Yeah, maybe you
why
shouldn't trust the charity that the government that's starving these people is telling you to
is
use. But she
yeah.
doesn't even mention that the government of the US
No,
is
it's
serving. Yeah.
not. It's not. And also, it's like really hypocritical double standard
Right.
again. Like, you are helping the people you are trying to asphyxiate. That's
Right.
crazy. And
Right.
how much is like, and oh my God, that's it's so ridiculous. I feel like if you don't like the government, that's okay. Like, for me, the biggest deal is like they say, like, I'm profound though, like, I don't know, I'm doing like whatever. He's hurt because the migrant situation in the United States, but they just mentioned that.
Right.
And now let's talk about two paragraphs completely about Cuba.
Right.
What about the people, like migrants, Cubans in the United States has been deported to Guantanamo Bay, even, or to other countries that they have the fear. Like, you just say it at the beginning, okay, because I
Right.
need to say it, because I need my migrant fans
Yeah.
wants me to talk to you, but they don't actually say nothing. That I don't. The thing with me is I don't get surprised, because I'm not expecting nothing from the people, because they never have been actually doing something in order to help the
Right.
people who live in Cuba. I completely understand and respect that the way they feel about Cuban government. I would like to hear explain the reasons why she feels that way. Because they say you have like electricity and they let us a lot of blackouts. Yeah,
Right.
babe, like your current government has a oil blockade on your entire your homeland country. So
Right.
and also it's not new. It's coming from the 2019, because we need to also do a little bit of research. We can just swim in the shallow waters. We need to go deep.
Right.
For me, it's about responsibility. You can have like a big platform and you can say whatever. Please take a moment, read some book, read
Right.
some articles,
Yeah,
and
use
then
your privilege
just
and power.
talk
Yeah.
to the people. Talk to the people. Review the executive orders and the way that your politicians are talking about Cuba, and the sanctions that are implemented on Cuba, and then take the moment to do whatever you want. But
Yeah.
at least do the homework.
Right. Do your
I think,
research,
like,
do your homework. Yeah.
at least like take
Yeah.
5 minutes,
Right.
2 hours to read some. And I think, like, that's the thing. Like, the people are just saying whatever is on the mood, whatever the vibe is,
Yeah.
whatever
Right.
everyone is repeating. Let me do the same. Like, let me post it the same July, because people are talking about July 11th. You know what happened July 11th?
Well,
Do
it's
you
my
know why
birthday.
people?
My birthday.
Oh, congratulations. You know why people in Cuba was on the streets? Have you read like Mallory memo? What they
Right.
say, we need to asphyxiate.
Exactly.
At
Right.
least, like, what is the goal? Because I don't create a goal. I don't invent it. They say it.
Sure.
I have
Right.
to say it. They say it. They write it out. We need to asphyxiate and they suffocate the Cuban people and make them hunger in order they get frustrated and they want to overthrow their own government. That's the goal. I don't say that. They say it.
Right. They say it.
They
Right.
write it down. You can
Yeah.
please do the homework. Memo, Mallory memo, and you
Right.
can just go to the health portal ad. And everything is happening in the middle of the pandemic. Like Cuba
Right.
was trying to face and confront the COVID-19 pandemic situation in Cuba that we recognize now, by the way, without tourism, without funds, without incomes. At
Right.
the same time, the blackouts and necessity and again the prices of the food and the necessities skyrocket. Of course, that people are gonna get angry, gonna go on the streets,
Yeah.
but that's legitimate
And
to
that's
people
right.
to do that. And I'm wondering, like, if people going to try to protest, and we know that because we're talking about sanctions, but this is like economic war on Cuba. This is collective punishment on Cuba. Economic war. You can go do the homework too, in order to say I'm not creating, I'm not exaggerating. That's exactly what it is. And you can expect that the government don't do nothing. I'm no support what happened in July 11, but I say that that's the reaction of any other government. Of course, there's gonna be repression. It was repression. The government feels that it's on siege, so
Right.
they think that they need to. And that's another thing. Like people just understand. Do you want more freedom of speech in Cuba? Let's get rid of the sanctions. Let's just go with the United States apart, because no country around the world that is under siege, that is under economic war from the most powerful country in the world, is gonna be really open to discussion or to critics or whatever. Oh my God, I feel like everything is so double standard, because you're saying about migration situation, like the situation is facing the migrants in Cuba. You're posting photos of people being repressed in Cuba on July 11th. That is really sad. And you're not talking about people being killed by your own government to try to protect and protest migrants, and the policy that you're applying in migrants in the United. How blind or how manipulated you want to people just see one reality, because I see that sometimes people in the United States it's difficult to see their own problems because they are too focusing other people's problems.
This, by the way, is the Mallory memo
Oh,
that
you
you
find it.
mentioned, right? So the decline and fall of Castro. So this is from 1960. Every possible means should be undertaken promptly to weaken the economic life of Cuba. If such a policy is adopted, it should be the result of a positive decision, which would call forth a line of action which, while as adroit and inconspicuous as possible, makes the greatest inroads in denying money and supplies to Cuba, to decrease monetary and real wages, to bring about hunger, desperation, and overthrow of government. The principal item in our economic quiver would be flexible authority in the sugar legislation. This needs to be sought urgently. All other avenues should likewise be explored. But first, a decision is necessary as to the line of our conduct. So again, just this is the really important thing that they said. The goal is to decrease monetary and real wages, to bring about hunger, desperation, and overthrow of government. And it's the same thing for that was from 1960. The more things change. Yeah.
How long have you been a pop star? I don't know if she really is a star. I don't know. I don't
I
follow her. But anyways,
good voice.
anyways, like you haven't said nothing in your entire life, and you're gonna say it now because
Yeah.
this is a tendency.
Right.
um, Whatever. What does it mean for people? What means for your family in Cuba that you're using the platform to amplify this? Again, the responsibility. We need to be careful about the power of the media, because there is a lot of manipulation going around. There is a lot of lies. Like, and at the end, I just you need to put your head in your pillow and actually be in peace, because history is just one, and at the end you're gonna be remembered for the things that you did, and also for the things that you actually said. So don't be a fool. Like, try to be smarter than that and try to go deeper than just repeated whatever is in tendency in TikTok or whatever
Right.
social media that people are using right now.